Elliot from the Bear Pit TV bringing you the breaking news that Marko Arnautovic has signed for West Ham. It's believed to be of a fee around 25 million. Do let me know in your thoughts on the transfer. I will read some of them out if they're not too abusive. Also your thoughts on the 25 million fee, and also who do you think that we get in with this money, or where do we spend this record fee in from the club? This obviously dwarfs the previous record sale of Steven Nzonzi and Asmir Begovic, and this is a huge amount. Stoke have never seen a transfer like this come into the club, and we've never sort of, in modern times let a talismanic figure such as Marko Arnautovic go, but he has seemed to have gone for the money. He will become the top earner at West Ham. It's believed to be around 25 million over 5 years or so, which is a ridiculous amount. And obviously he's moved to London. He didn't leave in the best of ways, sending Snapchats and a two-fingered Instagram post up to, whether that's up to Stoke fans or not, or whether it's to the media, who knows. But he hasn't gone about it in a classy way. Obviously, we've got some photo evidence for you here. If you haven't already seen it, there he is, holding up the West Ham shirt, which makes me feel a little bit ill, if I'm being quite honest. I don't feel great about that at all. Doesn't look pleased himself, but then again, when did he? He was always a little bit of a moody git. But there is photo confirmation that Marko Arnautovic has signed for West Ham. I'm sure there'll be official announcements soon from their channels or from Stoke City, but that is pretty much done and dusted, as you can see from the photo. But let's get to some of your comments. Obviously, this is a huge breaking news for Stoke City and also for West Ham. Rhiannon Gallimore says, so disrespectful, money, money, money. Alan says, hope West Ham, or West Spam, should he say, get relegated and refuse to leave. Dale Dooley says, it's a great deal. He's peaked. I'm not sure if he was peaked. He's still in the prime of his career. Sam Calvert says, if we reinvest, then yeah, I like the idea for Delph, but I'm sick of buying midfielders. We need wingers, and we can't bank on Saido Berahino coming good. He said, we also need fullbacks. Such a weak team at the minute. I have to agree with that. I think there's a lot of places that we need to reinvest. Obviously, we could still lose Gianelli and Bula, who's rumoured to leave. And if Delph comes in, we're still a midfielder down after losing Glenn Whelan. We're still to replace John Walters, and Arnautovic is now also gone, so there's plenty of gaps in our side at the moment, and there's only Delph at the minute rumoured to come in. There has been, however, been a breaking story from the Sentinel this morning, and they believe we're going to go for Valon Berisha, who is a left winger as a replacement for Arnautovic. He was born in Kosovo, very similar to Shaqiri, and he's currently at Red Bull Salzburg in Austria. Apparently, we're also battling Schalke for his signature, and it would be believed to be around 9 million. Now, for me, I can't say I've ever watched too much of this guy. I watched a bit of his YouTube videos earlier that was from like 2012, 2013. And, I'm not sold on that, but, it's only a YouTube video, so I've got absolutely no idea. Rick Tam says, how about we buy a winger who can cross a ball? I think that's a little bit of a dig at Arnie there. Tom Crinster says, 25 million for 4 league goals isn't too shabby. Big season for Ramadan. That is a great point. A lot of people are thinking, where do we spend this money now? We've got a ready-made winger to go in Ramadan. A lot of people were gutted we didn't see more of him last season. Me personally was absolutely flabbergasted that he wasn't in the lineup more times than he should have been. And he's got a very old head on his shoulders for our young years. He loves to track back, loves to work hard, which will please a lot of people, loves to give cover down the left, but he's great at going forward. He's got skill, he's got pace, he can turn a defender inside out, and probably the only thing that Ramadan needs to step up on compared to Arnie is his final product. We've seen one goal from Arnie, which was, he could probably go down as an own goal against Hull, but we won't be too harsh on him there. Laura Sutton says, what the fuck, it's a career, why would you not go for more money? He doesn't need to show us any loyalty, he's Austrian, made money off him, so why is everyone kicking off? A good point, Laura. At the end of the day, a lot of people would probably, in the same situation, up and leave their job if they were offered to, say, double their money, but there is a certain way about going about it. You could do it with a little bit more class, and Arnautovic has shown absolutely none of that. But I completely get your point, Laura, that at the end of the day, footballers are all mercenaries. What do they owe us? There's hardly any loyalty in football anymore, but there can be a little class shown about it. Jack Maller also agrees about getting Sobby into the squad. Nathan Stokey Dre says, what about Matt Phillips from West Brom? I hope we could aim a little higher than that. There's also been talk about Nasser Chadley from West Brom because he had a bit of a falling out from Tony Pulis, but that was started by James Whittaker on Twitter. I'm not going to read out Liam Pritchard's comment. Mark Fenton says, Arnie's nothing but a ponce. Let's get back to old school. Kick him in the stands. Too many prima donnas. A lot of people worrying that he will score against us now. And obviously, we've made a huge profit on Arnautovic, as Ben Cliff mentions. We brought him for 3.5 million and we've sold him for 25 million. Dale Shipley says, Sobby needs games, but we need another senior winger as cover, and the two-fingered salute from Arnie shall be returned tenfold when he does come back to the Bet365, and I've got absolutely no doubt that he will. But a great point that was made by Anthony Bunn, who runs Duck Mag Stoke. We're going to give Arnie some vitriolic abuse, of course, now, probably when he comes back to the Bet365 stadium. Let's do it to everyone. Let's get back to that atmosphere, you know, when we first came up, the first couple of seasons in the Premier League, where we're the loudest fans. Let's not just give it to Arnie. Let's give it to everyone. You know, let's turn it back into the bear pit. Let's read a few more comments before we go. Nick Grocott says, shame we haven't got the Wilco to welcome him back when he comes to the Brit. Pedge suggests Sobby is too predictable in the final third, says Adam Bertie. What does Pedge know? What does Mark Pedgic know? From what I can see, I've seen Sobby throw defenders around so they didn't know what day it was. Never mind being too predictable. I've seen him send people to the floor. I've seen him send people in a spin. I do not think Sobby is very predictable at all. Phil Robinson says, give him the Wenger treatment when he plays us. I'm sure there'll be something, whether it's I'm not going to do it myself, but whether it's people with snakes, whether it's people trying to throw pretend money at him, whatever it is. Rick Tam says, well said, Bunny lad. Agreed. Very much agreed on that, on the current atmosphere at the ground. Joachim Jakobsen says, sign Peter Forsberg. He's a really good player. I'm not sure who Peter Forsberg is, I'm going to be completely honest. But that has been the breaking news. Marko Arnautovic seems to have been done to West Ham. There's another picture, if you hadn't seen it already, holding up the shirt, which makes us all feel probably a little bit ill. But that has been the Bear Pit TV. That has been your transfer show live. We've obviously got the game at 4 p.m. against Eamons out in France, and we're going to be streaming it on the Bear Pit TV website somehow. Don't ask me how. I've spent a couple of hours trying to sort that out. But if you want to go watch that, go onto the bearpittv.com and go onto the About page, and there will be a live stream there. I'm sure we'll post it up again on the Facebook page or Twitter before the game starts. Now, if you can, go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Go and watch Stoke, and we'll see you all later.